me personally, when I look at this list of people, there's sort of two tiers here because there are quite a few comedians that their comedy is pretty apolitical. They themselves are like fairly apolitical. Now, obviously, like I think it's fair to criticize them for doing it at all, but they haven't like kind of staked out a position in the culture wars of the last 10 years. The ones that to me are way more eye-rolling are people like Dave Chappelle, who has basically made his entire identity for the last 5 years or so that you can't tell me what to say. You can't tell me what to do.
Shit.
I mean, he literally made like 4 Netflix specials in a row.
I'll do 4 Netflix specials about fucking with trans people. I do not care. And I'll do it just to make a point.
Exactly.
Well, they have that in common. I don't think Saudi Arabia is a fan of trans people, probably.
Well, it's not about that. It's about, well, and I guess I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but somebody leaked the contract or at least the offer.
I'll get into that.
And there are some very specific restrictions on what you're allowed to joke about.
So, yeah, everybody kind of assumed that because it's Saudi Arabia, which is just a straight up, authoritarian state, that there would be a lot of topics off limit, which kind of undermines a lot of, what Dan was saying, a lot of these guys stand for. This is where the woke meets the wall, guys.
Right.
Comedy is truth to power, man.
Yeah, we say, in the comedy world, we say we're the last line of defense.
What were you saying, Dan, about Chappelle?
That he has a large international audience. He's one of the biggest comics in the world.
I'm sure the Saudis are going to show up.
And this is actually a good opportunity because there was a super chat that I think is worth addressing and from a Saudi fan. Krusty Shrimp.
We love them, by the way.
Krusty Shrimps donated and said, "This is very hard as a Saudi. I'm just happy I get to see my favorite comics come to my country where I can finally see them live." And then they say, "But I guess fuck us for being Saudi." That's not how we feel at all.
We cannot blame the people for the government.
Yeah,
I understand that.
And to be clear, I guess I'll just speak for myself, but I keep emphasizing that the thing that bothers me about this is the fact that it's so heavily censored and that this has been, at least in America, a huge culture war item for the last, going on 10 years now about cancel culture and what you can, political correctness and what you can and can't say. And a lot of these people on this list have taken it upon themselves to become paragons of free speech.
Paragon of fucking truth and speech. I give truth to power.
And if there was a comedy festival happening in Saudi Arabia that was put on by some promoter and it didn't have,
wasn't attached to the royal family and didn't have explicit restrictions, then I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. It's the specific circumstances of this comedy festival specific. Also to respond to that, again, it is tricky, right? Because you make a good point. Like, obviously, the Saudi people are not the government, and and like, how do you balance that, right? Because these are people who also deserve to enjoy art and
sure,
laugh, and culture,
have a good time, absolutely.
And so, but I think Dan said it the best. It's like it's explicitly being put on by the royal family with these explicit restrictions.
Yeah, which just makes it undeniably hypocritical for a lot of these people.
But I love you.
Yeah. And I totally understand what you're saying. I know I've felt it growing up in Israel. You'll hear this artist declare they're not going to perform in Israel. And you're like, well, what did I do? But I think, like Dan said...
Well, but to be fair, or to be... because when they come to Israel, they're not being put on by the government.
No.
So
and there's no restrictions.
That
part is really what makes it so hypocritical of these comedians.
These are just in Israel. It's just promoters who are like, come. That was very much just like there were just a bunch of people trying to enjoy culture.
Yeah, the hypothetical I was laying out, it would be
it's a good one,
like that. In which case, of course, y'all deserve comedy just as much as anybody else. Absolutely.
If BB was like, hey, let's do a comedy festival, and you went with that.
You can't say anything about the Gaza war.
Yeah, that's
like that would obviously be fucking insane.
And that's
for
a perfect example. Because that would be so crazy for people to go to that. For artists to go to that,
And Yahoo presents Michael Bublé.
That would be absolutely insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way,
it's not that crazy of an analogy because Saudi Arabia is responsible for like 300,000 people dying in Yemen. They've been going fucking ham on the Yemenis, just slaughtering people there.
The Yemeni.
The Yemeni.
Just Yemeni, yeah.
The Yemenites.
No,
I don't think so. Although I'm not an expert. The Yemish, I don't think that's right either.
So the comparison is actually pretty good. But I just find, the whole thing is so sellouty. And I apologize to you in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. I hope you understand. It's not about you at all. And I definitely empathize with you because, like you explained, like we've experienced that being, in Israel.
Yeah, I didn't express myself accurately, but that's what I was trying to say about Dubai as well. Like the people, can't blame them for their government. Yeah,
totally. Yeah. And it's even harder for them. They don't have democracy. They don't vote.
Right.
They have a royal family.
Yeah.
Did you see this other super chat I sent from Evie about Jessica Curson?
No.
They said that's one of the people on the list. I saw Jessica Curson in West Palm Beach a year or two ago, and a huge portion of her material was about lesbianism and sexuality. I genuinely don't even know what she performed for them.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, if you're a gay comedian, that's kind of like part of your identity usually, and a lot of your material.
Yeah. Was this the woman they were talking to
nowadays? Though
She is.
This is the woman they were talking to.
She's gay and Jewish.
Yeah. Oh, gay and Jewish.
According to our shot.
Again, hold on. I want to be clear. The Jewish thing is different than the Israeli thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's not. If you're Jewish American, you have no problem going there. If you're Israeli, you can't go there.
Now, I guess to be fair, there wasn't anything in that list of restrictions that said that you couldn't joke about being a lesbian or anything.
Well, she just was talking on camera, and she said, "Oh, I'm not going to do any gay stuff."
Okay, fair enough. Right, she said it herself, so she's,
Yeah.
she's self-censoring in that.
I mean, there was a mention of culture, right? So, like, how do you? That's so vague.
I mean, it's all vague, and I think, they word it vague intentionally so that it gives them a lot of leeway of,
By the way, Ray left a comment that I liked. She said Lady Gaga performed in Russia, but she went on a long rant about gay rights and invited them to arrest her for it. It's one of my favorite moments of hers.
Well, there you go.
And I've seen that moment, and it's awesome.
Yeah. She's the GOAT.
There are and there are times when you can show up to, like, let's say, for lack of a better word, I don't want to say I don't know how to describe it. Like a country that's like on, rocky terms. I don't know. I don't want to say enemy country, but you know what I mean. Like, if you can go there and do your thing, if you can go there and speak truth to power, then that's fucking awesome. Right? But this is not what's happening. Yeah, I don't know how these people do it.